Well, guys, it's going to be a really chopped video series because it appears that two players have only lost once in a six-player tournament, or someone dropped. So we went to five players. I think Sugar Daddy dropped, and C4, both C4 and Soong have lost once. I assume Soong, well, I know who Soong lost to. She lost to Golden Lin, and C4 actually also lost to Golden Lin, which is really weird because, oh wait, how is this possible? How is this match even viable? Let me check something real fast, guys. This makes no sense to me. So let's go to current matches. This is going to be a very chopped video series. So we have three complete videos. I didn't think this was possible. Let's look at current standings. So Golden Lin, okay. Well, I guess they had to have finals because Golden Lin won two, but had the lowest overall player game win percent. So Sung and C4 have to play because his player game win percent was higher than Golden Lin's, although he had easier matchups, it appears. Yeah, he played the easiest players. Or it's just that Sugar Daddy dropped right after he lost the first one and just said, screw it. That's more than likely what happened. So he didn't play any more games. Well, she kept a bad hand, but when you get him to direct with a bad hand and they hit two lands, that probably tends to be better. I don't think she's going to miss having those two lands, to be honest. The cool thing about playing in C4's deck is it's not per se fast. Neither is hers, but she has permission, which I think she's favored in. I think she can win this matchup, and I'm kind of rooting for her because Sung and I, we play a decent amount of matches, and I think she's a very good player. A lot of respect for her as a player. C4, I played quite a few matches with too. He's also a pretty decent player. So we have Vendilion Click here. Seeing what? I don't think we get to see this. That's irrelevant. That's actually good. Cool. If I'm her, I'm like, that's fine. Just you can kill that thing. Still getting a card out of your hand in your draw step, which means your most relevant card is now gone, or you're keeping crap. Which, if it's all removal and stuff, then she's gonna leave it. Like, who cares? It's irrelevant. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's cool we get to catch this last game. I'm sorry it's gonna be three videos, but pretty excited to see this. Sin Collector is a good one. I'm surprised it's main. I don't know if that's a main card or not. I don't tend to think of it as one. 3 mana is a lot for that effect. I think you're better off just playing Castigate. Because not all decks, I mean, you play this against some decks and it's just like instant or sorcery. Like, not all decks are. Against White Weenie, it's just terrible, unless they have like Geddon straight up in hand. Alright, Grim Lavamancer. She has removal herself, but she may just leave this thing around because she doesn't play a lot of weenie creatures, so if he wants to eat up his graveyard, I think she'd be fine with that. Or it could just be like a True Name, but like True Name's even kind of fragile in this matchup because he's going to have edicts and stuff like that. It's Tassiger. A very good card. She got the swords out of his hand. Discard? If it's discard, I don't like that play. I think you play the discard first. Um, no, it's a dismember. Cool. Well, she knows the hand better than I do because for some reason Vendilion Click, what's its ability actually read again? I thought it was reveal, so it should show up in the revealed pile. Look at target player's hand. All right, well, it's a look. So the card works properly. We shouldn't be able to see it if she looks, but he obviously had a bolt or something. They drew Anguished Unmaking. But it's actually not a horrendous thing unless she knows. Well, she may know that he has. That's fine too. Unless she knows he has like Lightning Bolt. But she has the treetop, so she is kind of winning the race. She's gonna be loath to play lands though because Weathered Wayfarer is just gonna get a wasteland, gonna get a tech edge, gonna get whatever. And I think this makes sense. You just get in there for the damage, chip away, and hope that he doesn't draw into a planeswalker first. But 4 mana is limited now. If this is like a Chandra or something, Harsh Mentor I think is creature or land on the battlefield. Okay, so this is 2 damage every time she activates the Treetop Village. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see her kill the Harsh Mentor, which I don't think is great in this format, but I guess it's good against manlands. Um, it's a bear, right? Like I think there's a lot. Like I don't know. It's interesting. It is certainly interesting. It's a weird card to play in the same deck with Anguish Unmaking, but it is in the finals. Although I think he probably had easier pairings, to be frank. Well, at this point, I believe she is on counter magic or a lot of lands. But she already ditched 2 lands out of hand, so unless she's just been drawing straight lands, if she's passing it here, C4 is wanting to do something. She probably has 2 lands in hand, and a 1 to 2, 1 conditional counter spell and 1 hard counter is my guess. So thinking like a mana leak or a miscalc, which you may see get cycled off, and then like 1 hard counter, like counter spell, and then 2 lands because she doesn't want to play her lands into the Weather Wayfarer, which just means he's going to blow up her lands. It's an attack, which I guess makes sense because the Treetop Village is alive. Although that does take her off of counter magic, hard counter magic, not conditional. And it exposes the treetop to instant speed removal. Obviously, interesting. Interesting line here. It's going to take 2. It's kind of odd to me. Expose it to removal. Yuck. Maybe she wants to just get this thing killed so she can play a different land. That could be it. Huh. Interesting line to me. Maybe she drew, like, Fatal Push, but she would have done that before. I don't know. Maybe she just wants to clock him. But 4/4 versus a 3/3. I say 4/4 because it basically is. With Treetop Village activating, that's 2 damage on her turn plus 2 damage on his. Spell Pierce maybe in hand. Hopefully for her sake, this is a Planeswalker. Almost assuredly. Yep. Yuck. Yeah, it's not good. Goes for the life. Interesting. Huh. Maelstrom Pulse. Yep. Land? I think you have land. You don't have land? Well, I guess you need to get 2. Because you can play land at this point and play around the Weather Wayfarer still. But we don't have counterspell, so if he has another Planeswalker threat, like, you're in trouble here. Huh. Well, do you have another one? Firebolt? That's irrelevant. Missed. I guess you just clock. I think you stop attacking here, though, if I'm Sung. I don't really like attacks here. That's a good land to have. Really, we just want a creature here and then counterspell backup. Is this, yeah, Toxic Deluge? Getting all of the stuff and things. If she has Force of Will in hand to back up that play, that's very good. And she very well might because she had the Maelstrom Pulse on her turn following after the casting of the Elspeth. Read the Bones is interesting, but it's damage, and she's got a pretty sizable backswing. If I guess she probably doesn't play Ancient Tomb or City of Traders in deck, the Soul Land. She could activate both those and just like bang in there for half, like everything but 1 life. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see an attack here. But he's got some decent cards. A Throne would be good. This is probably a Deathrite. No. Planeswalker of her own. Garruk. No. Primeval Titan. That's game. 2 man lands. Too easy. He'll have removal for it because he just, maybe he won't. Maybe he put removal on the bottom. I think he keeps instant speed removal to get rid of the man lands though, to fight them. But this is going to be a Hissing Quagmire and the Hexproof 3/3 land would be my guess, or maybe Wasteland. Maybe because he has white up. Well, he did Read for Bones and left that up. All right, Mace of Ith. Maybe she's not running the hit, or yeah, maybe she's not running the Hissing Quagmire. It's possible. Inquisition. It's like, okay, sure. That's what you drew for the turn, I would assume. Well, did he bottom both? I have to go back and look. We're way at the top. Okay, top. Inquisition is not good. I assume he topped that. Dreadbore, that's fine. That's actually one argument for getting the Vorus Stronghold, but I think she exiled it. No, it was Tech Edge. It was the colorless land she got. So I feel like he's probably got removal. So you probably just fire up the Lumbering Falls, but you could do two. I can see Lumbering Falls plus the Treetop. It probably makes sense. Just force him to burn off one of his removal spells. Um, Firebolt put down to 6. So I mean, you kind of almost want him to, because if he has like a Lightning Helix or a Lightning Bolt style card, then you'd rather him hit the Treetop Village than your face, because that puts you a lot closer to death. So that would be 5 points down to 3, which means another 3 damage spell can kill her. Um, this feels like a Helix Bolt. Okay. So actually, she played this right, and we kind of called it right. Like, he did go for it. I guess he has to there, which is actually a good deal, because that means the Firebolt plus the Lightning Bolt plus like any other random burn that he may draw, like, can't kill her. All right, awesome. I'm sorry, C4. I kind of am cheering against you, but I want to see both players do well. But I also think Sung's deck is favored here. And I think she kind of got gypped round one. I don't think her opponent really played optimally. Could have beat her a little faster, which is, I don't know. For me, I don't know how it is for her, but it's a little annoying. It's like, you gave me a lot of outs, but my deck just didn't give me the ability to punish. Kind of what I would describe as probably inferior play. All right, guys, quick pause while they're boarding, and then we'll be right back. All right, guys, they're back at it. Um, C4 really wants to get an early start against her deck. So his deck is, and I don't mean this, well, his deck's kind of dyslexic, because it has cards like Harsh Mentor, which I think are aggressive cards. They're not really mid-rangey cards, and then it has control cards. So the trick for him beating her, I think, because she has permission, right? This will die, like, right away. Fatal Push. Yep, got it. And she knew it, I think. That's going to happen, and she'll eventually find a resilient threat and win with it. But his deck is weird, because like, I think it is a deck that he designed off of a video series I made, and it's probably been updated. That's a bad one to see. That is horrendous. That's going to get Maelstrom Pulse right away. Either that, or she's like caged into like countering every spell. So I think she went from generally favored in this matchup to ill favored at this point. That card, or like Bitter Blossom, just horrendous to see. Do you have an answer? Abrupt Decay? Got it. Never didn't have it. Oh, Golgari Charm. I play that card in the board of my Sultai deck as well, and I think it is very flexible. It could almost go main. Actually, at one point I did run it main. If this is a 4-mana Planeswalker, she hopefully has Force Spike or Pierce. Feels like it's an Elsbeth or a Chandra. We'll see based on what she fetches. Chandra. Nope. Firing up the Manland? That's risque. I guess she doesn't have white mana, so it's Fatal Push or Ghastly Demise. She may not run Ghastly Demise. Ghastly Demise is a card that I haven't seen a lot of folks catch onto. I like it a lot. I think it's a great card. So 6 to 4 cards, 4 lands, 3 lands. She was obviously on the draw this game, which I think is favorable. I think you actually want to be on the draw if you're her. Brainstorm with fetch land, very strong. Yeah, I think all signs are pointing towards her grinding a victory. And I don't think it's gonna be fast. I think it'll be eventual. But that play plus having the answer to the Phyrexian Arena in a card that you really don't mind expending to do that. Like that card, Golgari's Charm or Golgari Charm, just got a ton of value. The reason I love the card so much is because it's really great in a variety of matchups. The regeneration clause is very good against non-wrath of, like, wraths that are not Wrath of God, that you can regenerate around, like Supreme Verdict. It's counter to Supreme Verdict or Day of Judgment. There's a good one. Probably die, but there's a good one nonetheless. It's actually the only 1-mana Planeswalker ever printed. Not really, but I call it that. But Golgari Charm, obviously wrath-proofing against control decks that utilize white-based sweepers to kill your permanents or your creature permanents. The -1/-1 is actually not irrelevant against White Weenie. I like it there quite a bit. Oh, Deathright's gone. To be expected, though. I mean, like, I don't think you can expect that you're going to play a creature and it's just going to, like, stay right there, He may activate the Shambling Vent again just to crack in there. I don't think it's per se great, but, I mean, you do what you got to do. He probably has removal if he didn't even consider doing it. He's got a full grip. So the Shambling Vent, I wouldn't be shocked if we see it. This could be, all right, Gerard's Verdict. Well, you probably depends on what she has, right? The life totals are irrelevant in this matchup until one player has none. I guess they're not completely irrelevant, but like there's some burn in his deck, but it's not enough that like I think you tend to play around it, until you're like very close. There's a spell pierce. Okay, yeah, we kind of guessed she had that. So she was playing around the 4 mana planeswalker quite aptly before, but now that she has good counter magic, I don't think we're likely to see it. She has a removal spell and a counter spell. She has 2 counter spells, I think. I'm gonna guess one removal spell, like Go for the Throat, and then a mana leak and a counter spell or deprive. It's kind of my estimation of things. Well, actually, if she had deprive, she would have kept Pierce because Pierce is better when you're on low mana resources, unless she's just expecting to hit mana and she's gonna wait it out. All right, Thoughtseize was her draw for the turn. I think more than likely. And here she's gonna try to get any real threat out of or out of his hand. If he has none, she'll take his best removal, or any card advantage engine or threat she'll get here. Um, Damnation, yeah, makes sense because I mean she does run Thrun and stuff like that, and Damnation is a universal sweeper. Um, Although if he had more efficient answers to things, she may have taken those, just because that does force him to tap out or tap most of his lands down, and she probably also doesn't want to waste her mana countering that. So like, I'm thinking now she probably has actually a Thrun, a counter spell, and removal. So we're gonna see a Go for the Throat or a Dismember pop here. We'll see. She'll wait for it to tap. Dismember? No, nothing. Okay, well, she may have leveled us as well. He has not done that for a couple of turns now. But again, life level is not that relevant. He is tapped out. So I think her consideration here is I think she does have Thrun. That is a reason for grabbing that, but that's without me seeing the remainder of their hand. Um, Lightning Helix, Path to Exile, plus Damnation. Okay. So he's got 5 damage, so she's at virtual 8 if he decides to go the burn route. Okay, Eternal Witness, getting back what here? Alright, Polluted Delta, so she wants to keep up counter magic. And she wants to get ahead on mana. That is one of the things I think red and white specifically can struggle with is accruing card advantage. Black has a lot of ways, but generally they come at a generally relatively steep cost of life. This is gonna get countered, man. Oh no, it's not. That's fine. They're going to face, or is it going to Eternal Witness? It's going to Eternal Witness. I don't think you counter this unless you have a way to like blink it or to unsummon it. Mana Leak. Interesting. She really. Oh, she has uh, natural order, and she's banking on him not Path to Exile. Because Path to Exile and Lightning Helix are his last 2 cards. He has to guess that though. Like Bloodstained Mire should. She's gonna attack here even. I don't know if I like this. I think you just get what you can because she's got natural order. That's like because there's no reason. Why would you save that if you didn't have natural order? Yuck. Why would you do that? I think you just let it die. Night's Whisper. Okay. That's really interesting to me. So we know he had before he drew Night's Whisper and drew into 2 more cards. A Path to Exile and a Lightning Helix. Both of which are capable of answering the Eternal Witness. Why would you want to save that so much? I really can't tell, guys. Okay, Shambling Event. So we know she does not have removal. Doesn't have natural order. I'm still kind of baffled as to why she saved the Eternal Witness, though. That may have been a misplay. I think he just let it die. Um, it's already gotten you a card. He's wasting a whole turn tapping all his mana. I guess maybe she thought it was irrelevant. That was a good draw, though. It's a slow clock, but it's a clock nonetheless. I think you just do that now to keep him down on mana, especially if he has any more situational. Yeah, she agrees. There's generally not a reason to wasteland or Tectonic Edge on your opponent's turn. It's generally bad to do that. You generally do it on your turn. What is this? A Wall of Reverence. That card's life, like I said, is kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's not completely irrelevant, but it's not the deciding factor of these games. Like more often than not, if she's down on cards, I think you don't want to counter this. Like a 2/1 is really not a great clock. All right, Snappy. So she wants to up the clock. She's going to mana leak this. Although I don't know. I guess if she can find another shuffle, like the brainstorm, I think is more enticing to me. Um, she's gonna lightning helix something, I would assume. Probably the Snappy, or he is. Um, and the other two, well, we know he has a path to exile in hand as well. Lightning helix, yep. So gain 3 life is what basically that says. I mean, the Snapcaster is kind of a free card. So, and then you're gonna lose your Wall of Reverence. Although I guess the 2 is, I don't know. It's a 10-turn clock. It's kind of slow. Plus, Bulwar's Stronghold can, like, if he really needs that effect, like, he can get it back. If he really wants a blocker for Eternal Witness, he can get it back here. She also got land, so what else does that mean? Oh, Ooze is good against Bulwar's Stronghold. She just gets it, okay. Yep. Makes sense. Still has a hard counter up if she wants to. He appears to be quite flooded out. Well, he is up on cards. The Knight's Whisper gave him a few cards, plus the Gerard's Verdict. There's some decent card advantage engines. You see like a Vindicate. Oh, a Deluge. Well, they're all dead. Or she can counter it, but she does not, and I don't think that would be right to counter it there. I think you save your counters for the truly relevant threats like Planeswalkers in this matchup. I think if you do that, it's going to be hard to lose because his deck, I think, is running fewer threats. I guess he's fetching here to, yeah, he's flooded, so he wants to just not draw more land. He'll come into play tapped. He doesn't have Brainstorm, so doesn't need to worry about saving fetches for that effect. Oh, there's a man land, but on 2 cards, I guess I guessed it wrong. She didn't have, she definitely had the situational counter that we kind of guessed. But I feel like one of them is a counter spell and maybe one is removal, but that's not definitive because he's going to fire up the Spires here. So we're going to find out relatively quickly, I think. Yep, Spires coming in. Needle Spires, basically a 4-power attacker, which, was a 3-turn clock. No, it's going to hit. Manlands are good. Well, that can at least block, and it draws you an additional card. It can block, it won't trade, but it'll buy a turn. He could just remove it. Oh, Dread of Night, which means the Needle Spires is junk. So she does run Dread. I did not know that, because we were talking about that the first game, and she just didn't see the thing. Well, Dread turns off Needle Spires, unless she has a way to buff it or destroy the Dread. I don't think you blow up the Baleful Strix. Even if you have, like, a Bolt or something, that seems kind of poor to me. Okay, Banishing a Light. So that gets rid of the Dread. I do think you let that happen, because if you have, like, an Abrupt Decay or something, which is very viable, that she could have that, then if he ever activates the Needle Spires, you can blow him out in response. Kitchen Finks is annoying as all get out. But I don't think you counter that either, if you have it. Again, life total is not the problem here, although Finks is now going to be a card advantage, because it'll take a couple cards to get rid of it. I guess it's still parity. That's actually awesome. That's a good pickup right there. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see her block with the Strix. And then you can start recursing the Eternal Witness to get back like Ooze or whatever else you want. Terminate? Well, that actually is dead. Unless you have Abrupt Decay, and then you could just blow him out horrifically. We shall see. Well, what are you casting here? Something big. I was just gonna. All right, yeah, I figured you should activate that. It was a weird way to tap for it. So we've got lethal here. This is 7 exactly. Abrupt decay, nasty. Never didn't have it. Call the guys. Yep. So she had removal. It was just very specific. It couldn't get man lands, but it can when it's getting Dread of Night, which is just a that's a beautiful thing. So that goes from being lethal to being like a chip. And does he have something else to play? Chain Lightning. Okay, she could counter that. He may have burn for his last card, but I mean, if she has a counter spell, she'll get it. Now, if he doesn't have the way to, he doesn't have a way to kill here, then he definitely. Well, do you have it? You definitely get back the scavenging ooze, I think, just on its own, unilaterally. Yeah, because you can't afford to tap the 2 additional green mana for the Eternal Witness to get extreme value. Um, and here, you're just going to tap, one of your green sources, your black source, cast this thing out, get out of burn range, which would involve getting rid of probably the Snappy. Yeah, Snapcaster's fine to get rid of, I think. And frankly, that's the best, but Strix maybe as well. If he had the burn, he would have killed you already. He could have. No. If he had Burst Lightning, he would have already cast it. Path to Exile. And here you probably want to get Snappy, I think, and just leave the Eternal Witness in there. I think this is fine. Like, so she's at 4 now, which is a much more comfortable life total. Although by no means does it put her out of range. And then Eternal Witness will be the next pickup, and Eternal Witness is likely to get back the Strix or the actually the Collective Brutality is good too. Yuck, it's not good. Although, oh, it's a black vampire token creature. I thought it was black white for some reason. Wow, she's going all in here, or he is trying to get the damage in there. Do you have a bolt of some sort? Like 1 is not different than 2, really. Really not different. Could get the Collective Brutality with only 1 card in hand. I don't know. I mean, you probably get back. Could just do Ewit Golgari Charm. Snapcaster. Okay. Huh. Is it black, white, or black? It's black. Okay. Oh, it's a Maelstrom Pulse. That was her last card, and Snapcaster is her second to last card. So you leave Snapcaster in hand, so you have Pierce and Abrupt Decay, I suppose. Golgari Charm, maybe. I think you just block the Finks, though. Although, the crappy thing is, he can actually start Volras strongholding it. It's going to be a weird game. So you get Abrupt Decay. I don't know on that. I think Brainstorm may be better. Because then you can trade. You can trade the Snapcaster, have Volras Stronghold still available, and also save the Brainstorm to look for what you need to answer his follow-on threat if he drew one. It appears he did. Painful Truth. That's a lot of cards. Well, did you draw a burn spell? You've already used quite a few. You've already spent the Chain Lightning, the Lightning Helix, so Firebolt. So my assumption is Lightning Bolt and Burst Lightning are still in the deck. You may see one of them. May have one of them here. Sin Collector against 0 cards. Just dies, right? Yeah, that does nothing. Against 0 cards? That's horrific. Why would you even cast it? I guess because you can Volras Stronghold it? I don't know, but why wouldn't you just leave it in your hand? Doesn't seem good. Ewit. Ewit getting what? Baleful Strix? Or Maelstrom Pulse? I don't know. Or Collective Brutality just to gain some life? Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, you could just gain some life with it. I don't think you go for sorcery. If he had the burn, he would have killed you. Yeah, that makes sense. Plus it ups the clock a bit. So down to 10. Um, with his Strix still in there, I think you get Strix if you can get Strix. So he's obviously, I think, he's drawing to a threat. He gets back the Finks. Finks makes sense. Um, and she probably just attacks with both and lets him block because I mean he's blanking his draw step every time he does this, but he's gaining 2 life. Um, but the Finks does not to 3/1 because of the emblem. The Finks itself, does it have to block? No, it does not have to block. It probably would because she'll just get back Baleful Strix and draw her card anyways. I mean, you get back the Baleful Strix. It's just a blocker um, here. And you probably attack with both still because the Finks is just basically a life gain spell. But it also makes Volrath's Stronghold live each and every turn. And if she's recursing Collective Brutality every time, then that's pretty rough. Though the Ooze did get sniped. Okay, down to 8. Doesn't block. Very interesting. Kind of fishy. I think you want to block there. Maybe you don't want to. I don't know. Maybe you don't want her to get the value. This is like a Volrath Stronghold War. What do we have? A sword of some sort? No, an Anguished Unmaking. Well, I guess that would probably be game, unless she has a kill spell. Yep, that's game. So they'll go to a game 3. And I still think she is, I think she's favored here. But definitely not definitive by any means. Quick pause, guys. We'll be right back. Hey, guys, we're back. Inquisition start out of C4. Obviously tapping out a Sung and dropping a Disallow. So he obviously does not want counter magic. And she's claiming she has nothing in her hand. Sung is habitually a pretty negative player about her holdings, though. That's not a bad one to have. Either she top decked it or she was claiming that Jason Freen's Prodigy is nothing. Although it likely is kind of a nothing because I assume he'll kill it before it's able to flip. At which point in time it becomes a much more problematic card. Maybe not though. If he kills it, then he's got Fatal Push, Path, or Plow. Path would be fine for her. Push? Yep, that's what I'm guessing. Push or Ghastly Demise would work too. Or like Vendetta or some other random stuff. Thoughtseize. Interesting. Well, she may be able to flip this Jace. Randomly enough. Thought Scour. Indicator of Tasker being in deck, which we already know because we've seen Tasker cast before. Blooming Marsh, down to 2 though, is his 5 cards. Okay, Overgrown Tomb, ditched. Well, this turn we may see like a Lightning Helix. The options open up obviously a lot when you're on 2. I don't think you use Thoughtseize though. Yeah, this is Lightning Helix. Oh, Arc Trail. Okay. Well, she's low on time too. Didn't notice that before. Well, she may just be losing this one on time, but he's also up on cards here. Pulse of Marasa. Okay. And land or no? Land. Tech Edge. Cool. Well, let's see what horrendous way he has to kill the Jace. He has a Lightning Bolt. And you have a threat as well. That's a pretty bad one to see. It's not one you want to see. I don't feel like she probably has an answer this time. She's already gone through her deck, or her hand, and chopped it apart quite handily. Yeah, unless she can drop a Jace on the next turn, I think she's going to be in trouble here. But Inquisition Thoughtseize is pretty rough beats. Although he is hurting himself quite bad. If you can get like a Thrun, she may be able to win too. Thrun the last roll? No, nothing. Meh. Yeah, looks like C4 is going to be able to take this whole tournament down. You know, I don't feel like she has many outs to this. Just gain some life, you know. Guess it's kind of cool. Well, that's a threat. It's a threat that can be dealt with. Not very difficult to deal with that one, I think, on these colors. You know, or just raced, straight up raced. All right, Nick's Fleece Ram. That card's junk, I think. Gerard's verdict against her one card. Is it Primeval Titan? No, it's Edict. Wonder why she didn't cast it. Time, I guess. Deathrite's not bad. Lose and gain. Nick's Fleece is very interesting to me. I don't know why that's like. Is that a card that starts in the deck? Maybe it's a hedge. It does block things randomly enough, but it's a 0/5. I guess you'd equip a sword to it and it can attack. It's not a defender. Burst Lightning, moderately interesting. Baneslayer, not good. Well, Baneslayer is impossible to raise. If you weren't familiar, kill spell off of this. If not, game. More than likely. Yeah, Baneslayer is rough. Dreadboring a wall seems horrendous to me. I don't even know why you wait. I guess, okay, well, if you have that, it makes sense from that point. That's game. Phyrexian Arena just did her in. I think without it, she can probably win, but if you manage to resolve, well, it's dual discard too, like 2 discard spells in the first 2 turns, is probably a good game. So I think we're going to see C4R1S win this one out, and congratulations, man. This game's over. She could probably concede it here. Um, are there rounds to this? Probably not. Probably not. All right, going for the gusto makes sense. Just end the game fast. Yeah, what do you draw here? Damnation. Not good enough. Land? Yeah, definitely not good enough. Yeah, you can probably pack it in here. I think you can safely assume you're dead. Stinks, but I mean, it would involve some pretty gross combos. Of note, entombing into Gristlebrand does not work. His Baneslayer attacks past it. So there is an out. I'll be curious to know what it is. Well, I am obviously not imaginative enough. Well, first strike gets around that thing, but it keeps her alive for nope. She has to have a kill spell for the land. Doesn't want to fetch because that does damage. Gets to filter the top deck with one card in hand. If it's not removal, she's dead. That's about the gist of it. Yeah, Nyx Fleece Rainbow seems so bad to me. Yuck. I do not think that's a card you should play in this format. I mean, like, the only matchup I can see it being great in is, like, Red Deck wins. Other than that, it's just, like, so junky. All right, Banishing Light to end the game. Yeah, I can't imagine what your ability to get out of that was. Maybe like a sweeper. Oh, so I think I know what she has to draw into removal for the land plus a pernicious deed. Let's ask her real quick. No, she dropped. Okay. Alrighty. See if he cares for one or if he's done for the evening. And we'll actually be playing Bug ourselves. That's kind of what I wanted to play tonight. Cool. So I will play Bug as well. Where is my Bug deck? Let's send him a challenge. Of note, I think our Bug deck runs more counter magic. I could be wrong on that, but I think it runs a bit more. It's a little more controlling than her build, I think. Alrighty, yeah, we'll play first. Hand looks great. The only way to make this better is some counter magic. Well, that's a strong one. I'm not going to play the Goyf yet. I think Jace needs to be my first threat that I play. Just want to leave up the Diabolic Edict to get me critter threat. Cool. And we will Edict that. Just to slow him down a bit. I think here we actually do play the Goyf because I think it'll prompt removal. Which I'm happy with. Like, I just want him to tap his mana not to play a threat so I can put the Jace on an open board, bounce his threat, find a blue source, and then Cryptic Command him. And then look at 6 mana for a Pern Deed line. Untapped. Cool. Alright, he's going to kill this thing, I think. Fatal Push not the way I wanted to kill it, but hey. What are you going to do? Alright, Scavenging Ooze. Okay, well, we're losing a land and a Jace. Well, Chandra's the biggest problem there. So hopefully he plays out his scavenging ooze. Well, he may just be pumping this thing up. Force of Will is not horrendous. You can grow your Goyf or your scavenging ooze to a 4/4. Yep, Thoughtseize, interesting. Okay. Well, evidently he doesn't care to grow his ooze and attack us for more damage. Yep. Okay. Well, blue source would be good. What do you got to thank me for, man? Yeah, no, I think we kind of knew that. We're gonna wait here. If he wants to blow up one of my lands, I'm fine with that. I hope to precipitate that actually. I'm probably gonna lose my botanical sanctum. That's fine. It's gonna cut down on his playables, so I'm actually a-okay with that. I'm not gonna tech edge him here. Can still cast the Maelstrom Pulse. Do I take 5 here? No, I don't. It's got burn, so no, we're not gonna do that. Well, do I have to Force of Will a Planeswalker? Thunderbreak a Regent. Hmm. Okay. I will pulse that. Chain Lightning. Nope. Take 3. Down to 5. And if he has a creature left in hand, the hot debate becomes, do we Force of Will it? Well, land. A shriek, a maw. Hmm. Hmm. Nope. Well, negate is kind of interesting. Hopefully draws a planeswalker. Well, more land. Um, but hopefully the negate keeps us safe for a bit. If this is a Dryad Arbor, I don't know if he runs in the deck or not. Okay, no Dryad Arbor in the deck, which means probably no Greenson Zenith. If he has Dryad Arbor, it's just game. Okay, good game. Alrighty, I think Deathmark is good here. I think Flash Freeze is good here. Golgari Charm, I don't care for as much. Dispel, I don't think I need. I don't think I really want these red hate cards. I do want the Batterskull Tusk, I think, for this matchup. What else don't I like? T-Dell is probably good. A little lower on Ghastly Demise, I think. Duress is probably still fine. Spike is probably fine. I think Leovold will actually be actively great. Maybe I want more Planeswalkers in this deck, just looking at it now. Bitter Blossom, I think, is great. What do I think? Rex Sage is probably good too. Not sure. Duress is probably worse than the other discard. Yeah, hand's fine. We're going to keep this. Factor Fiction, I think, is going to be great. Could run into a Wasteland, but really no playing around it. Okay, discard. No, Land Elves. Cool. Going to save that. Go with this. I think it's just Jund mid-range. He's going to kill this thing. Oh, a sword. Well, what'll be curious here is if he equips up the elves. If he does, I'm quite happy. I actually really hope he does. An option to bail off is unfortunately out of the deck. Sulfurous Springs, definitely more of a budget option. Okay. Oh, let's draw. Abrupt Decay is huge here. I'm going to ditch this. You know what? Let's hold on that. We're just going to play the Death Ride out. I really want to see him equip this sword up. Campbell. Huh. Okay. Well, if we're really lucky here, he'll equip the Lenware Elves. But we are not that fortunate. Okay. All right, we're going to hang back and hope to resolve this factor fiction. Oh, 4-drop. No. If it's a 5-drop, that's trouble. You can get in there for 2. That I'm fine with. But you've kind of shown your hand unless you're next level me or attempting to next level me. I feel like it's a 4-drop Planeswalker. Yep, get in there. So you have a Planeswalker, because otherwise I think a 4-drop creature you'd cycle for a 6-drop one. So I'm probably going to have to... I mean, if it's a creature, can I just Damnation next turn? I can, can't I? Okay, well, this is not acceptable. Cool. What's on the top of our deck? So, what do we see on top? Would have been nice if that was an untapped land, so we could get the 2, chip for the 2 with the Death Right, and still Factor Fiction. Damnation, I think, will only increase in value. Could be wrong on that, but I don't know. Do not know. Yeah, I want him on top. That's a clock. Oh, more land. Okay. Alrighty. I think this is right. So we're at 9. So Thragtusk is not out of the realm of viable for us here. Land? Tireless Tracker, I don't think is what we want here. So we are going to attack with our true name. That's fine. Put Thragtusk on top and draw off of it. Obviously doesn't have discard. Does this win the race? It's close. Very close. If he draws a land, it wins the race. I mean, we're obviously blocking the Sylvan Advocate here if he attacks with it. Concedes. Okay, got him. So we navigated our way through that. A little dicey, but got there. Huh. Maybe I do want like a Flash Flood or something like that, just to get. No, I have enough kill for like the random Dwarven Miner or whatever. This hand's an atrocity, so we'll mull it. This hand is actually pretty good. Keep. And we're very likely he's going to 4. Do I want this? No, put it on the bottom. Gonna be fetching turn 1 anyways. Turn 1 elf or turn 1 discard. Yuck. Hopefully elf. Because I'm gonna go. This feels like discard though. Oh, elves. Okay, cool. We'll get the arbor here. And then we'll look to V-click him if he doesn't kill my arbor, which it feels like he probably will. Yeah, okay. No, just play this out. Let's say go. Nothing, okay. Well, that's a tempting one, but I think we're just going to go for Vendilion Click. I shouldn't F6. I think we're going to do a draw step. All right. Let's see what you got going on. Do you have an instant speed spell? I guess you fetch to thin. I mean, you're going to, what, fatal push it? That's fine. What do you have in hand? This thing? This thing can go to the bottom. Okay. Alrighty, let's delete an old video, guys. I guess we're still recording. Yep, we'll delete that one. Alrighty, so Thrun the last troll. Can still beat through with Kessig Wolf Run if he chooses to. I'll take the damage. You can pump. I'm not going to just lose Thrun willy-nilly. But Thrun does present a sizable blocker, so I'll take 5 there. think Thrun's going to hang back this time around, and I will block this time as well. And leave up the Spell Pierce and Regeneration mana. Smuggler's Copter, that is extremely annoying. Very strong draw. And can we Mise? No, apparently we cannot. So we're just dead. Hard telling. I can't cast this, guys, huh? Well, Smuggler's Copter is probably going to be game, which really kind of sucks because you just mised it off the top randomly. Anything bigger that was a non-creature we could have countered. Like any ground creature, I think I'm fine with. Yep. Looks like we're just going to get mised out by that thing. That really sucks. He's going to filter his draw. That card was a mistake. Yep. Ditching a land, I would presume. Well, we do get one attack with Grimflare, and maybe we can get lucky. I don't know. The Kessig Wolf run plus the Smuggler's Copter really problematic here. Huh. Inquisition. It's not horrendous against us. I can't block it. So we take 3. Hopefully he tries to cast something dumb here like a Planeswalker. And we can find removal. The Dwarven Miner's fine. Well, at least I get to filter my draw a bit. Oh, I guess not. Memory lapse would have been better a while ago. Okay. Interesting line here. Interesting line. You know what? Just do this. No, thank you. You can have it back. I don't really understand this line of play, though, to be frank. I think he probably wants to just win. Yeah, no thanks. Let's get in there for 4. I don't think we can win this, guys, but we're going to give it our best shot here. Because if he just attacks with everything, does that just do it? Yeah, we'll do this. You can pay the mana if you want to. That way you're not dwarven minoring us. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Botanical Sanctum. Cool. So we do 4 here. We can't all in attack, can we? Because if he does this, he can make this trample. This would be 2 plus 1. No, we all in attack. All in attack. So this is 2. It's not quite enough. Well, did you demise land, or what'd you get? Okay, well, that's quite the beating. Does that mean I lose? Yeah, that means I lose. Oh, wait, no, I have Baleful Strix. Baleful Strix can block whatever does not get equipped with that. Yep. I'm not casting Bitter Blossom anyways. Yeah, he missed on that one. All right, guys. Yeah, I think he kind of misplayed that one. I don't know if he misplayed it. He wanted to beat us up on mana, and it didn't quite work out. So I'm going to pause there, guys. I don't know if we're going to play anymore.